Hey guys, Omni here. Welcome back for episode 3 of our dive into One Piece the anime, following our delightful run through of the One Piece live action series, which was my introduction to this world, these characters, and again, I really loved it, dude. And this isn't my first anime by any stretch. I've seen dozens of shows, just never this one. It was always this kind of thing I was afraid to get into, and for the most part, most of you have been extremely welcoming and extremely understanding of what we're doing here, but there's still like quite a handful that clearly indicate they haven't read either of our pinned comments on any of the videos so far, and clearly have given away, they skipped the intros and the outros of these videos. So even still now, even on the first video and the second, I'm still getting people asking me to do more than one video a week, and I got pinned comments on both. I don't know what it is, people skipping everything, or maybe they just don't even care. They don't care how they get their One Piece. If this was my full-time gig, maybe. You know, maybe I could drag things out a little bit, but I'm covering 9+ shows and I got a 9 to 5 every day of the week, man, on top of all this. It's a lot to juggle and this month is crazy. So I'm just doing what I can to survive at the moment, man. And I hope you guys understand, can sympathize, and be patient with me, please. I'll include yet another one here below, and who knows? The future is not written. And things could change, but right now this is the course we're on, and I just hope that you guys are patient with me. Even if I were caught up, you'd be waiting a week for the next episode. I know we got a long road ahead. I know I'm making it harder on myself, but it's the reality of the situation. Some of that is my own decision, and some of it is just physically impossible for me to do right now. So I hope you guys understand and follow along either way. And with that said, let's go ahead and hop into this week's episode. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It will be on watch along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time code so we react to the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies we react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind the scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while. So you are going to support the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. And enjoy this reaction. To leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really does help these videos out. But with that all said and out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and hop into episode 3. Here we go. I can tell you right now, like, even just in like these short, 2 episodes that we've covered of this theme song, like, I'll catch myself humming it, just during the week. Like, it's really catchy, and it just lives in my brain between these little recording sessions that we do. Now, and I did take everybody's advice. I have not looked at all the title of this episode. So, we're gonna go right into it. And once it comes up, I'll also look away. I have a question, because, like, I don't see it that often anymore. Do you guys like in your anime openings, or any show's openings, when the sound effects of the footage, like, comes through the music? Because I honestly, like, I haven't heard that in a long time. I think because I like this song so much, I kind of wish I was just hearing the song. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. He just as easily could have just murdered all of them too, If any of those that just went right back at any of the people who fired. Hey, what's that over there? It's the not title. What's up? It is what it is. I don't know how else to say it, buddy. His smile's infectious, man. Aww. I mean, one would think. I don't think they'd be wrong for making that same assumption. The little ball of chaos. Hidden treasures of the sea.
それを食った奴はこの世のものとも思えぬ能力を身につけるという火を吹く能力、津波を起こす能力。
Oh, that would be wicked for a pirate to have tsunami powers.
その秘密はグランドラインに眠っているというが、あの麦わらが見せたのは間違いねえ悪魔の能力。
He can break swords just fine, but these ropes, man. He made it worse. Good job, buddy. Oh, nice. Who actually watched like the old school Zoro stuff when they were young, man? I loved that shit. Oh, interesting. Hey, why not? We can do both. Exactly. It's like, well, gotta do what I gotta do. Dream's a dream. They were gonna... Hey! Ah! And they used that. That was a... Well, only instance, I think, of Gum Gum Whip was in this very same fight. Oh my god. Dude, and I saw one comment that said he's even worse in the manga. I'm like, what the hell, man? Yo. Crush this navy. Look at this little treasonous brat. I love it. Fucking look at Kobe go. What was that? Yo. Dude, they got his outfit right. Down pat in the live action, man. But my god, was he a pushover. Whoa. That fucking reflex. God damn. Aww. You son of a bitch. Oh shit. We heard you the first time, buddy. What happened? What happened? Wow, Luffy had no doubt. Oh, dude, Zoro just like, he kept his word. But like, wow, he just signed right up. But Luffy had no doubt at all that his back was gonna be had right there. We're free! Wow, man. Oh, I mean, that just shows how fucking awful this guy was. Oh, get this man some food, some sleep, anything. All this guy's had is rice balls. What's she here for? Oh, same thing. After the same thing. Oh. Oh, never mind. Well, she's after it, but Buggy actually got it this time. Buggy the Immortal. Dude, I really want to see what anime Buggy's like, man. I was surprised with how much I actually loved his presence throughout the series. It really is like, again, the spirit's all captured, the spirit's all there, but it is very much like I'm watching a completely different show. Because he's made of rubber, his stomach just keeps stretching. There is no limit. Not humble at all. Just says what he thinks. You're it, buddy. The added touch of the dog taking a piss on it. Like it. I mean, great observation right there. You need to prepare a little more, buddy. There's two oceans. The red line. Enough if nobody, or at least rarely anybody, ever enters it and returns, it makes a lot more sense why Sanji was like, I mean, they kind of touched on it a little bit in the live action, but like while Sanji was like saying his goodbyes to Zeph. No. Yeah, that's true. But who knows? After everything that transpired, you might even be recognized, huh? Oh, okay, at least they're giving him like a head start, you know? Some kind of repayment, because they are obligated to take them in, but he's, out of courtesy of what happened, giving them the option to go. That's at least some kind of code there. What is his plan? Don't worry, this is gonna work in your favor somehow. Oh, wow. Ah! Oh my god, he's just beating the shit out of him.
やりすぎだ。その辺にしとけよ。
君らが仲間じゃないことはよくわかった。今すぐこの町を立ち去りなさい。
There's another way you could have done that, but that works too, I guess.
わざとだったんだ。
Not as dumb as he looks.
わざと僕にけしかけて殴らせたんだ。僕は最後の最後まで
Aww.
何も変わってないじゃないか。僕はバカか。僕を海軍
Okay. Let's go.
まずは君の素性を調べてみないことには。
僕は海軍将校になる男です。
海賊にやられた同士は数知れない。海軍を甘く見るな。入隊を許可する。
He subsequently put on a display of confrontation so that they didn't think he was with Luffy, but at the same time, it worked as well to rile him up enough to kind of set that fire in his stomach again to do this on his own. Because, you know, if he's leaving, he's not going to have him to do that again for him. He had to, like, I don't know, he stoked the fire in a way.
ありがとうございました。このご恩は決して忘れません。マサオーナー、ゴビー。ルフィさん。
全員蹴れ。
Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, obviously, I guess he did save all of them.
血を持ったな。
Aw. He knew what he did.
我々の今の敬礼は海軍軍法の規律を犯すものである。よって全員3日間飯抜きだ。
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do for honor, man.
きっとどこかで会いましょう、ルフィさん。たとえ海軍と海賊に分かれても、いつかきっと会いましょう。とうとう海賊団の船出だ。
結構な冒険が待っててくれてそうだぜ。
Aw.
俺はなる海賊王に。
お前、海賊王ってのに随分こだわりがあるみたいだな。何か訳でもあんのか。
いや、わけなんかない。俺は誓ったんだ。ある男にいつかすごい仲間を集めて世界一の宝を見つけて海賊王になるって。
No.
この麦わら帽子が知ってる。
そうか。
よーし、行くぞ。グランドラインへ向かって出航だ。
To be continued. That was a really sweet episode, man. That fight, while it didn't last terribly long, it was really well put together. Man, that fucking corkscrew that he did to dodge that axe swing was smooth. That was really good. And in pure anime fashion, obviously, it does show the difference in scale between what you can do in animation and the live action, of course. We got a glimpse of some more heightened elements of that maybe like the further along the live action gets, maybe we'll see more and more of it. You know, when Mihawk did his like slash where the shockwave from it severed a ship in two off in the distance, and some of the moves from Luffy, you know, that as well. But there's just some things that it's just without an extremely high budget and some good planning and just choreography in general, it's hard to pull off a lot of the stuff that goes into these. And I love the way they encapsulated this as well. Again, I do feel like a lot of that spirit they did a really good job at capturing, but like there's just something about this version of Luffy that is just such a cannonball. Like, yeah, he's got a lot of that aloofness, but it's more of like a naive like positivity where it comes across like he's just like kind of toxically positive in the way that he kind of gets you sick and pulls you into his own illness kind of way. He has this infectious quality. He's almost like a living virus where he goes in, and it's kind of the par for the course for any or most anime shonen type protagonists. You know, their positivity, their outlook, their willingness to put themselves between an obstacle and the helpless, the downtrodden, the in need. You know, at any given point, no matter what it weighs upon them, you know, they do capture that very strongly. And much like in this and over there, they did a good job at representing where Luffy's line is. You know, and you know, he's a lot more open to he's definitely a lot more open to violence in this, and I kind of like that. It's fiery. It does set them apart. While there's a lot of similarities, and I do think the core spirit that I've experienced so far does kind of feel like there is a connective tissue between them. They're still very distinct. I think Zoro is also the biggest example of that. Like, he's got a lot more personality over here. Again, it plays into the animation of it all. I think what they did with the live action, it makes sense to kind of keep the characters kind of feeling different. But over here still, you know, he's louder, he's exaggerated, he's exasperated, he lets his emotions rile up and fly, where, you know, it's just kind of refreshing. It's fun to see, because it's honestly how I feel like some people would react to somebody like Luffy who's just coming around. And, you know, honestly, sometimes it feels like he's just being dumb, but like in that way that he approached that situation with Kobe, would they have believed him with words? Would a pirate have been able to sell that he wasn't part of this crew, that he was there with them, he was helping them free Zoro? They saw that, they all witnessed that. So like, you know, would they believe it if he tried to talk his way out of the situation? I don't know. So, knowing that Kobe doesn't want them to know about his past without Vita, fearing that that would hinder his chances of becoming a Marine and fulfilling his dream, he became the antagonist of the situation. He poked the fire, he poked the bear, whatever analogy, metaphor, whatever you want to say. He tried to rile him up and incite a conflict. Because if they see them get into a scuffle like that, I think if it came to physical blows, it's a little easier to sell that they're not exactly on the same side, and it would sell Kobe's story a little bit better. But again, this lieutenant isn't dumb. Like, I don't think that went over his head, you know, because he said you got a good friend there. At the end, it just shows that not all of these Marines were bad. Yes, did they passively allow this tyrant to take over everything? Could any one of them have stopped him in a one-on-one? Probably not. Had they all rebelled? I'm sure they probably could have taken him down. So at the end of the day, there is this kind of like, there is a fault on them as well for just kind of being too scared to make a move. But at the same time, they're not all bad people. It was just this nasty situation to be in. Then you have, you know, Berries and Cream, who's just this brat running around town because his father's the big guy. The fact that Morgan, and again, coming back, and like some of you had said, like even in this, they toned some things down from what was in the manga. And I already had somebody say that, you know, the Zeph thing, they censored or at least omitted from this adaptation. You know, we might even do a trickle down, man. Once I get to the end of this, I might read the manga next to fill in that gap between this and the next season of the live action series. And just, again, compare notes, find out what's different across the board, because I like those elements. And I like that you guys are very helpful about that in that way. Nobody's spoiled anything. Nobody's been a little too overzealous about oversharing beyond what we're covering at the moment. And I do really appreciate that. Most people have been very forthcoming and helpful in at least clarifying without spoiling anything. So like, I do appreciate a lot of that from most of the audience. And it's just been fun, dude. It's been so much fun. And again, I like seeing the differences because there's enough difference. Because I saw like one person, you say like, what are you even doing? If you finish the live action one, why shouldn't you be starting at the end of Arlong Park? And I was like, that defeats the entire purpose. I was like, just by this, it's like very, very distinctly its own thing. Like, that's the point of adaptation. You know, it's never going to be one-to-one. You might bump into that with some things here or there, you know, when there's a remake, a reboot, or a new adaptation. Some might strive to do a carbon copy. And I think for anime, trying to do that is impossible. And I think that's what the showrunners at least did over there, was like, we can't copy it. We can homage it, we can attribute it, but we gotta capture that spirit and do our own thing. And I think they did a good job with that, because it worked for me. It pulled me in, it made me a fan to get me here. The core character values and what makes them the character are still intact, but there's like these differences in the tone, the things that the way certain elements play out, the way certain characters even interact, and obviously the things you can do in animation you can't do in live action. It's just like night and day, the kind of differences that we're going in here. So it's not like, even though I might know a plot detail here and there, because it happened in the live action, it's not going to play out the same way. And again, I want to try to have this experience last, because like they said, the strikes should be coming to an end. I would imagine not too long from now. The writer's strike is over. The SAG strike, they're in open negotiations right now. And once that's over, hopefully things can go back to normal. And the showrunners did say that the scripts are already ready for season 2. They already have the green light for season 2. So once the strikes are all over, they said they could have season 2 out within 12 to 14 months, which honestly is a crazy and insane turnaround when you think about it. But, you know, that just means like we got plenty of time to fill in that gap, and at the rate we're going, we'll pretty much be caught up and ready to go and enter season 2 when it comes out, unless there's any production things or behind the scenes stuff that hinder it or push it forward or whatever, or push it away rather. I know this is going to take a long time. I know there's 1,000 episodes of this show plus, and there's still new ones coming out. That just means we got a lot of One Piece to live in and share together. So at the end of the day, relax. One thing I did want to say is like I'm kind of torn on Kobe and Luffy's relationship. I do feel like it was more grounded. Like I felt like it was more grounded and relatable. It was like the connection between the two. I felt like they forged that a little more naturally in the live action. While I would say that is kind of counterbalanced by the fact that here Kobe has this fire. Like Kobe in the live action has a drive, he has a passion, he has this want, this dream to become a Marine, become an officer, to, you know, be a good Marine, make the change from the inside from what he's observed, you know, but he still kind of got that, what's the word I'm looking for here? I think what I'm trying to get at is like in the live action, he was a little more passive in his own destiny. Luffy did a lot in freeing him from Elvita, having him stand up for himself, and then getting him to his course, where here it's a little bit shared. He's also got a lot more fire built up with him, though it does seem to come out with a form of regret after the fact when he has these little outbursts of energy, you know, but I think that's a difference in the medium because it's a lot more natural, I think, and a little more easy to relate to the type of journey of this skittish kind of like upstart, somebody who's just kind of needs to find their voice, find their confidence. I think that is a much more natural progression where he's just kind of like fighting against himself a lot of the ways and trying to find his footing. And then, you know, once he gets taken under Garp's wing, finding that confidence. And here, like, it's definitely because of the animated style to it all. It does come out a lot more kind of electric, kind of more dynamite in these reactions that he has to these situations because, you know, it is a lot of wacky stuff going on. And he has these moments of just excited panic in a way. So it's like they kind of went two different directions with it. But at the core, the character still has, I think, the same, again, I like to use this word a lot because I think it just fits, spirit. I think they got the core aspect of the character, but they just chose to interject him into the story and have his involvement in the story be just kind of a little bit different in a way that accentuates the medium. I think that's kind of what I'm getting at. But guys, I hope you enjoy the reaction. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts, and I'd love to hear from you. So sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends, Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, York Corsica, Margaret Grace, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, Jake Cantrell, Eric Official, Amy Becca, and Casey Wood. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and everybody for being patient with me, because we got a long road ahead, a great journey to set sail into, and it's going to be a long voyage. But strap in, get your fruits, get that citrus so we don't get scurvy along the way, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care, everybody.